Buongiorno. Right, if you're new here, I'm just the guy that likes to do weird and wonderful stuff, and here is my Nissan Cube. What you will see is we've actually made these headlights, and we've actually made this panel here, which is a full fiberglass part. Yes, it is. I like to come up with weird and wonderful stuff. But why are we doing this? Well, basically what we're doing is we're making this into a miniature slam 4x4 G-Wagony. I'm going to call it the C-Wagon, obviously being a cube. Now, the thing is, we're actually going to be making our own full fiberglass body kit for this. Wide body. We've made it, well, we've designed some wheels, they're coming. But what are we going to do today? Today, believe it or not, we're going to be putting a Range Rover sport front bumper on that. Told you I'm weird. So what my idea is, I'm going to chop, I've got another cube bumper, so I'm going to whack that on. I'm going to chop the bumper, well, bottom half of it off. I've already chopped the top half of the Range Rover bumper off a little while ago, and then what we're going to do, we're going to stitch the bottom half of the Range Rover bumper onto the top half of the cube. Now, the only problem is the Range Rover bumper is like 60 centimetres, well, even more, mate, like near enough fucking meat, can't swear. See, we've got to take a big chunk out of the middle, to cut it in half, take a massive chunk out of it, and then put it back together, just so that it's got the same width. But I will show you what I mean. First thing I need to do is I want to measure the distance from the bottom of the bumper to the floor, because I like that height, and obviously if we're putting on a different bumper on it, we want to maintain that height. I mean, I just get over speed bumps nice, it's a very good height. So I'll do that, then we'll take this bumper off, we'll put on our second hand bumper, because that's the one that we're going to cut up and use, and then we shall see what happens. Okay, she is 15 centimetres, remember that, 15 centimetres. I'm ready to go mad at this. These stupid clips, and I can't even use my new tool for it because it's so low to the ground, and I can't use the ramp because the ramp's got that on it. So one thing that you just know is going to annoy you. Mate, them little clips were doing my absolute nutting, but she's off. So then we get the second hand bumper, because we like that bumper. Yeah, so let's get a second hand one. That is not as deep as the other one. Right, one thing I did notice about this bumper is it doesn't actually fit that well. I mean, it's a second-hand bumper, it's got drill marks in it where someone's actually drilled it in, but we adapt and we overcome. Right, she fits alright. Not amazing, but she fits alright. I'm gonna, obviously, it's got no tab, so it's been screwed into the car before, so I'm just gonna heat this up and get that where that needs to be. I'm only focusing on the top half. Literally only need the top half of that bumper, so should be alright. Annoyingly, the bumper is well out of shape. I mean, look, it's got holes in it, but I need this to be the right shape and the right profile. I've got it pretty straight now, because obviously we're going to be taking a mold off this, so I need it to be right. Right, now that is in the correct position, we're going to get down the Range Rover bumper, and then we'll work out where we're going to cut this. You can only cut once. Oh yeah, baby. Position the Range Rover bumper in front of the cube and you'll see how much bigger it is. If that side is roughly where I need it, that is how much bigger it is. So we basically need to chop it in the middle and bring it close together. But first I want to cut this bumper to marry up with that bumper. This is going to be, it's gonna look sick though, isn't it? Like you need to have the vision. Right, hopefully this might make sense. Like that. I know it looks naff, but you need to trust the process. Right, I roughly know where to cut, so basically I'm just going to cut it. I don't measure anything. I sort of work on a YOLO situation. So if I see where I want it to be, I'll just do it. And then if it don't work, I'll make it work. I think that's probably what makes me a bit unique. Anyway. So I'm going to wang a bit of tape round, draw a line, and then cut it. Basically. And that is all I needed. Reason why I needed that, it makes my life easier because obviously the bumper's going to follow the shape of the headlights. It fits in and goes with the curve on the side there, so all the fixings for it to fix are on there. So now it's basically getting the Range Rover bumper to now fit that. What we're thinking. So now we've sort of got it where we want it, what I'm going to do now is basically cut out a section in the middle and bring it together so that it is the right width, because obviously it's too wide. This will be the tricky bit. Then I can get the two ends where I need to, and then I can work out how much of the middle has actually got to come off, if that makes any sense. Just like that. Sort of something like that. I've got one side on, this is the other side, obviously I've got to chop it. But what I'm quite loving is you've got, you can't really see it, you've got the curve there and then it brings out the curve there, so it's sort of like an S shape. So I've just got to replicate on that side, then chop out the middle, and then we should have a rough bases. Annoyingly, mate, I've been like literally last half, I've been trying to get more clearance there because I want to keep these fins on, but currently that's 10 centimeters. Obviously we was 15 centimeters, but thinking about it, when the new wheels come, they're 17s, they will then be on 18s and they'll be on maybe slightly thicker tyres, so we'll get a bit more lift anyway, and we can afford to lose a couple of centimeters. I mean, let's think about it, yeah? Whenever you have a modification, it's never practical, is it? It's never practical. So if we scrape on a couple of speed bumps, we can scrape on a couple of speed bumps. Mario, I can take them little canard things off. I've roughly got it where I want it. So I'm going to staple it in, and then it's more secure. And then I'll get the grills back in and have a proper assess of the situation, because it's kind of hard with all this tape everywhere and crap everywhere. That's what I need to do. So I'm going to use my stapler, staple them in, and then yeah. Right, so she's all stapled up. You need to vision this. You can't, it's hard because it's obviously two-tone now and it just looks like a boat. Like, two-tone's not the one, mate. So what I need to do now, so she is all stapled up. I need to cut away a bit of this plastic because I've managed to do it. Hopefully that the grills can still go in, because the grills are what make it. I really wanted the grills, but I had to, so that the grills were there, because if they're too much to the side it curves too much and the grills wouldn't work, if that makes any sense at all. And then a bit, I'll just get some honeycomb mesh thing. And then what I've got to do is make up this bit of the bumper. Same on the other side, just so like that. But, so I'm gonna get the grills in, cut that bit of plastic, get the grills in. Then I'm gonna put the car back together, like put my little bad boy thingamajiggy on it, shut the bonnet, and then we get a better idea of what it's gonna look like. Like that, you sort of get more of an idea of it. Oh, I'm so sick! Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Range Rover front bumper on a cube. That's how we do it, baby. So I've got a bit of fiddling to do. What I think I'm going to do is make them into indicators. Obviously I've got to fill up them side bits. And then I'll rub it all down, get it in primer so it's all one colour, and then you'll be able to see the true effects. So next part, I'll be making it all smooth, getting it all sort of like one piece, and then priming it up, and then yeah, we will make a mould of that basically, and then pull off a full fiberglass part, and that's it. Trust the process. What we are doing is we are going to cut down all these staple heads, grind them all out. Then I've run out of fiberglass, so I'm going to have to go helpers and pay their stupid prices so I can fiberglass that section in, and a little bit there. And then basically it's a case of smoothing off the bumper, getting it basically all smooth and straight so it's like one piece, sand it all down, and then prime it. That is my objective of this week. That is the new wheels for it. Do you want to sneak peek? Let's quickly show you the wheels. Let me show you the wheels. So these wheels I've actually designed for the cube. Oh my god, 18-inch free spokes, bro. There you go. So obviously we've got the full body kit going on there, so well, once we make it, the wide body kit, so these are going to be wide. Anyway, Range Rover bumper, bad boy grille, big boy wheels. Gonna make bonnets and things and wide body kit. But yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna cut down all these snap holes and sand them down and use some fiberglass. In here is on this bottom bit, it's actually a separate like over panel, and I don't like that. So I'm stapling it all together, and then I will basically smooth that off so it's just one complete thing. Does that make sense? And there we go. That is plastic welded. And it's plastic welding, but it doesn't matter because this is basically just a template. This handed that down and put some snot in it. Beautiful, mate. Trust the process, you know. Right, I know this looks really odd. My little contraption. Hold on. Right, so obviously I need to fill in this gap. But why have I got that there and all that up like that? Because the Range Rover bumper sort of stuck out about there, and this sort of twisted a little bit, hence why I've got the tape there pulling that in, and this pushing that in. So then when I fill this in, it'll go along with the curve. Fiberglass is more rigid, so when I do it, it's going to be where it is. It's not really going to flex. So I'm going to fiberglass all this from behind. Yeah, that's my plan. Right, I don't worry about paintbrushes and stuff. I like to just do it with my hand, just get in there. So if it looks a bit like what the hell are you doing, that is what I'm doing. Off and break everything that I've just set up. It's a bit harder, but... Right, that's all done now, so it's one piece. And now I've just got to fill up this little bit. And then we've basically got a bumper. Do you know what I mean? We've got like a full bumper then to make smooth and look like one piece. It's not a 2-minute thing, bro. And this is why I get people emailing me going, oh, I want to make this bumper, can you do that? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could do that. I've never done it before. Well, that, you know, I've done golf bumpers on micros and stuff like that. You know, I do this sort of thing. I say, how much will it be? I say, look, before we even get into this is basically hours, mate. Yeah, I charge X amount an hour, and it'll be X amount of hours, and that's how much it'll be. Do you know what I mean? Could take me a week, could take me a month. As long as you've got the money, we'll make it happen. And then that's when I just get ghosted. No one replies. It's slightly different because we need to sort of fill in that gap as well. So it's not only that, we need to extend this bit. It's when you're trying to do two different, well, when you're trying to make something like that, it's going to be a bit screwed. I mean, it's not going to matter too much because the bad boy body kit, the wide arches, it's going to be a panel that sort of goes over it. It's going to hide the edge anyway, so it doesn't have to be too perfect. But if we're going to do it, we might as well do it, you know. It ain't going to look amazing, but at least it'll be one sort of size. Right, this is where we're at. So it's basically resembling a full bumper now. We've sort of filled up that bit. We just got to smooth it all off. Basically refine it now, but it's looking like a bumper, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Can you see the vision now? This is what I say, trust the process. I think what I'm going to do first is focus on this middle section and this bit. Get that nice and smooth, get that nice and straight. I mean, it's not bad, to be fair. As it's two pieces joined together, I thought, you know, it wouldn't be so straight, if that makes any sense. But yeah, she's pretty straight. Kind of dips down a slight bit there, can you see that? I'd prefer it more straight, so I will be grinding that and making that straight. You just got to remember, this isn't going to be repairs. I haven't got to repair this so that it's going to last for years and years and years. This is just a template. This is a glorified template. So, you bastard. All smooth and that, then we can literally get it in primer. So yeah. Just grinding that back, you can see, like, I don't know if you can see probably, but that's like all fused together now. That's nice and smooth. And then I'll sand the bumper and then I can put some snot in it and it'll be fun. Right, what I've put on here is like a fiberglass filler. So the reason why I've used this is because it's a lot stronger than normal snot. Basically, it's just a lot stronger. So basically, I'll put this on first just to get strength. Basically, get the rough shape. I mean, look, it's looking like a bumper now. Get a rough shape with that. I'll do the rest with snot. I have put a load of it in here. I've got to reshape that, and then yeah. So I'm not going to bore you with filming this process because it's going to be long, and I want to crack on. So I will come back to you when this is basically all smoothed off and near enough done. Right, you see, even just after sanding and that, this is coming along now, so it's looking like one part of a bumper. Feels good as well. So even if you've got a massive huge gap like that, there's always a way to do it, you know. There's always a way to sort it out. But that, she's coming along, and this is just doing it with a DA. When I put the actual plug in there, I'll be doing it with a block and sanding it by hand. Right, we're getting there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a swage line here that fades out. I just think that will look nice. It's all about little details. So what I'm going to do, this is completely flush. I've sanded that flush. I'm going to put a bit of tape there, and that'll be my little, so I know how thick to do it, pretty much. So I'll whack that on there, and then when I flatten this bit, bosh, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Right, so as I'm blocking that, the tape is going to save it. This bit's already blocked flat. Put the tape on it. I'll put some black aerosol there as well. So when I block this, you can see it's coming up to the tape, but it's not ripping through it. So when I take that tape off, I should have a nice line. And there you go. Nice little swage line. And then I'll fade it out. Right, progress. So I've put the bumper on because I need to make sure it all fits and stuff like that. Really, really happy with how this is going. I mean, from the side, everything like that just follows. It works. It really, really works. This side, however, I have no idea what the hell is happening with that. This second-hand bumper was pretty mullered. It had screw holes in it where obviously, I don't know, whatever happened to it. And I forgot that this bit needed to be pushed in. I forgot. So I just carried on with the shape, which obviously just doesn't follow. So I'm gonna have to like cut it, bend this bit in somehow. Basically, I've just got to try and rectify it. Because that is not the one when you've got something that goes like that. Right, so how I'm going to do this is a bit of a backwards way of doing it. I have cut a little slit in it. So hold on, let me show you. So when that is on, I can bend that back in to where it's got to go. Then I can line this up with it. Hopefully that makes sense. That is sitting, I mean, once that bit's pushing, that is sitting basically flush now. So it's just this bit. Problem is, all this bit is made out of fiberglass, and obviously fiberglass is not flexible. So I know it's a bit extreme, but what I think I'm going to do, I think sort of, because up to there, it'll be cushy if I just went straight up. So I'm going to chop all of this bit out, which is a bit extreme, but I'm going to do it. Then fiberglass it from the outside so that it holds its shape. Then I can take the bumper off, I can fiberglass it from the inside and then grind out the fiberglass from the outside. Missions, bro. Just absolute missions. But you've got to do what you've got to do. That's going to make me be able to get a straighter line. Very, very extreme. Very, very extreme. But yeah, I'll fiberglass it from the outside so it stays where it's supposed to go. And then we'll take it off and then we can refine it. But that, obviously that's got to be pushed in a bit more, but that is much better. We've got to try and replicate it. I know the wide arches are going to be going over it and it's going to cover it, but for my own peace of mind, I need it right. See how that's like following now. So we'll fiberglass this up, bumper off, fiberglass from the other side, and then make it all sexy. So the skill isn't all about can you make a bumper from a different car fit a completely different car. Half the skill is when you mess up, sorting it. How can you sort it? Same with painting and stuff like that. Fiberglass now from behind, so basically now it's going to be nice and rigid. It's going to be, hopefully it's going to be where I want it to be. And then I'll cut all that off, get the shape, and then I can literally go back on this side, sand that down, get it smooth, and then in theory, touch wood, I keep looking over there, I'm sorry, my camera's there, I'm just used to it, I'm trying to get used to all this thing, innit? Then hopefully it'll be sorted, and all I've got to do is just flatten down that bottom bit, sand it all off and prime it, and then we're done. That is my goal today. It's Friday. My goal is to go home knowing it's primed and done.
Teaching little Johnny to play his recorder. Oh, isn't he the police?
There you go. There you go. All smoothed off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to polyester it. Polyester doesn't really go on plastic, it's like a spray filler. But I'll put that on it, that way I can make sure that the swage lines that I've created and everything are all... And then prime it, and then that's it, mate. That is ready to make a mould. But yes, let's get polyester. Changed what I was going to do. Obviously I was going to put on the polyester, but I'm just a bit paranoid about it going on plastic and that, and it's just because it's quite brittle, do you know what I mean, and covering a whole plastic bumper in it that's going to flex about. I don't want it cracking like when I pull off the mould. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to epoxy prime it. This epoxy primer is really good for plastics and fiberglass and all them things, and it's got a really good build to it. So I'll epoxy prime it, and I'm excited because it's the first time we're going to see the bumper all in one colour and see what it looks like as a full bumper. And then yeah, I'm going to do this out on the patio. I'm going to be a bit naughty. Look, because this is the last time see it all mixed match, because she's going to get primed. She's all one colour, all epoxied. I'm just literally cooking it up, heat lamping it now. I can't cook it because I've got these in here, and it's a whole process thing. It's a whole processing. Look, all as one bumper, one colour, one bumper. I'm going to cook it off with the lamp, get the grills in, put it on the car as one more final, like just to make sure I'm happy with it. And then yeah, basically we've got our test mould piece. I'm guessing that's what you want to call it. Right, I've just got her on. You'll see it. Obviously we've got to put the grill bits in there for the fog lights and the bottom canard bits in, and obviously the grill, but there you go. She fits nice. That's a run, but she fits nice. Remember, we sorted that side out, that side's sorted, that all fits nice. Is basically how you make a Range Rover front end fit a Nissan Cube. But keep watch, subscribe and like, because we're going to be making a mould of this, then we're going to pull off a full fiberglass piece. Oh yeah, baby. Trust the process. Love you all and thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.